To have healthy skin, we want to protect it from damage. And there are certainly ways to do that. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And as we look at the skin this month as an organ and we apply our wellness strategy to that, that is, we stop poisoning the skin, we flood the skin with nutrients, and we manage our stress with regard to the skin. So this is going to be the category of flood the body with nutrients. We're going to work on protecting. We've already talked about avoiding the toxins, and in some ways that they're unavoidable. But so we know that we're going to have some skin damage. What do we do about that? How can we protect against the damage we know is coming? And there's always age-related damage, sunspots, all those things that we know about. Sunspots, liver spots. And that's all age-related damage. So what is this damage, and how do we protect against it? What can we do? Are there things that we can do that can protect our skin from this damaging process that we can lump it all into aging? Okay? There are some things we can do. That's why we're having this conversation. So first of all, in order to flood the body, or in the case of the skin, in order to flood the skin with nutrients, we have to have good circulation. So if it's the bloodstream that's full of these wonderful nutrients that we're bringing, the oxygen and getting the waste material out, that circulation, that blood and lymph circulation is so critical. And so I can refer you back to month 2 when we talked about blood and lymph circulation, but there's going to be definitely some things that we can do to help promote circulation to the skin. And we're going to talk more about that in later videos. So right now, I'm going to leave it just leave it in that statement that we definitely want to promote good circulation to the tissues. In this case, we're talking about the skin. We've got to have good circulation. But even if you have good circulation, if you don't have the nutrients, if the stuff that's there in the blood, then obviously it's not getting delivered. So we want to make sure that we have the good stuff. So what is the good stuff? Now, the nice thing about the skin is that we can actually work on the skin from both the inside and the outside. And that's not normally the case I don't know very many other organs that fall into that category. So obviously the liver, it's everything internal. We've got to take something internal, not gonna be doing much from the outside. Although we did some massage and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that we can't affect organs from the outside, but here's the skin, which is the outside. So we have this great opportunity to use products topically that can protect the skin. And then of course we want to work on the inside. So what is this protection we're talking about? So first of all, let's highlight real quick, what are we protecting against? And I'm going to keep it to one simple category, and that is chemical damage, or we're talking about this damage. What damage? If you kind of zoom in down at the molecular level, what are we talking about? What damage is there happening? And when we talk about chemical exposure, or even sun exposure, there's different kinds of damage. But ionizing radiation, for example, has different kind of damage. The double-stranded breaks from UV radiation that hits the DNA and breaks the DNA in a half, or splits the DNA completely. These are things that are creating damage. The skin experiences some interesting aspects to this chemical damage, and it all comes from the standpoint of these chemicals or exposures are causing free radicals and oxidative stress, the damage of oxidative stress. These free radicals get formed, and they go around, rioters going around just pillaging and looting and stealing electrons from their neighbors, and it just creates a mess in there, and it creates damaged cell membranes, damaged material inside and outside the cell. How the body handles that damage is going to be a big factor in terms of what happens after that. How lasting is this damage? So in order to protect the cell on the inside from inside damage, we need to have, let me back up. To protect the tissue from this kind of damage, from this oxidative stress, you can hear the word, we need antioxidants, right? We need both fat-soluble and water-soluble antioxidants. We need these antioxidants inside the cell as well as outside the cell. So it's a little complicated, because you might say, well, I take my antioxidants, I eat my fruits and vegetables, I drink my V8 juice, and I'm getting plenty of antioxidants. Well, yeah, you are getting antioxidants, and you might be quite a bit. But are those antioxidants getting where they need to go? Are they actually happening inside the cell? Do they get inside the cell? And so this is where essential oils are phenomenal, and we're talking about small fat-soluble antioxidant molecules that are definitely able to go in and protect the surface of the skin down at the surface of the cells themselves. So it's protecting the membrane system, and since the membrane system is contiguous all the way throughout the cell, wrapping the nucleus, we can protect all the machinery of the cell from the outside in that membrane system all the way through with essential oils. The fabulous way to protect the skin from oxidative damage is to use essential oils topically. Okay, now we can either use them directly on the skin topically, or we can dilute them into a massage oil and get the effect that way. But either way, we're getting a fabulous antioxidant benefit from the essential oils. And there's really no other, there's no substitute for these fat-soluble antioxidants like essential oils. They're just amazing at helping to promote keeping the skin healthy and protecting them from that damage. So fabulous way to protect the skin is with these antioxidants. We can, of course, protect the skin from the inside. So those we need to get those water-soluble antioxidants, and that comes from our fruits and vegetables. And we've got the Young Living Ningxia Red product that is absolutely fabulous for the antioxidants. And so we can get that product on the inside, take it as a supplement, as a drink, and then allow those the essential oils and the new fruit and vegetable nutrients. So it's from the fruit antioxidants. We got the wolfberry, blueberries, strawberries, pomegranate, all those wonderful berry antioxidants. Those are all water-soluble antioxidants. And then the Ningxia Red product also has the essential oils added in. So we got the both in one product, both the fat-soluble and water-soluble antioxidants taken internally as a supplement. Those are really fabulous because the essential oils are there with that product to help that carry it on into the cell. Now, what happens when we don't get and here's where the immune system comes in, and I've done a talk on this, but when we have oxidative damage, okay, and the cell machinery gets damaged, let's back up a little bit. Let's say we have this attack or chemical exposure, and that chemical exposure is a fat-soluble toxin. We've talked about this. And that fat-soluble toxin works its way in, not just at the surface of the skin, but it's working its way into the cell itself because it's like essential oils from a standpoint of fat-soluble. So it travels into, and let's say it goes in and beats up the mitochondria and the nuclear envelope. And so we're actually causing internal cell damage. Well, antioxidants on the outside aren't going to protect from that. So the alarm bell goes up for this cell. This cell becomes a damaged cell, and the cascade starts for inflammation. Well, inflammation is the way that there's a series of cascades where it says, I've got some damage here, I'm a damaged cell, either I need to be repaired or I need to be chewed up and recycled because I don't want to have errant cells running around. That doesn't work for us. So this inflammation cascade gets triggered, and then what happens is we recruit white blood cells, which is the immune system. The immune system gets recruited into the area to say, okay, we're going to evaluate the situation. Do we need to eat up these cell fragments? If the cell is actually shattered and died, then we need to eat it up. A lot of times the immune system will actually say, okay, here's a foreign material, even chemicals. It's a foreign chemical, foreign object, foreign material, and it will eat it up and try to protect the body that way. So recruiting the immune system to the area of chemical damage is definitely reasonable, and that's actually what happens. So the problem here comes in is if we have a chronic exposure, which our modern toxic world is, a chronic exposure. If we have a chronic exposure, and we don't have the antioxidants there to protect it, then we end up with these chronic message of cellular damage. In and of itself, they can the next cell comes along, it can repair, and it works out. But what ends up happening is that we have a chronic low-grade inflammatory, the triggering of the inflammation system. So we have systemic low-grade inflammation, and that keeps the immune system on edge. This starts to push the immune system in the direction of autoimmune problems, because here is these cells that are getting damaged, they're falling apart, these cell fragments are now foreign material. The immune system has to respond to those, but those are part of our own bodies, they're part of our own cells, and if you do that long enough, eventually the system of self-recognition gets a little bit off, and we end up looking at these cell fragments as these damaged parts of the cells we produce antibodies to them, and we actually start reacting to our own cellular machinery in a negative way. So this is autoimmune. This happens from oxidative stress. This is this damage, this free radical damage that we're talking about from either from inside toxins or outside toxins, but the free radical damage in the absence of antioxidants. If we have antioxidants on the spot at the ready, then boom, those antioxidants mop up all those free radicals, and we never get that cascade of the triggering the inflammation and triggering the immune system. So it's very important to have a daily storehouse of antioxidants present in the skin, present all throughout the body. And so that's why we recommend an antioxidant drink like the Young Living Ningxia Red product, because that gives us a fabulous daily dose of antioxidants. But then on top of that, like I said, we have an opportunity with the skin to protect the skin on a surface. So we want to have that surface application and use a Young Living lotion. This month we're featuring the Kid Sense lotion, but any of the lotions, the Genesis, the lavender lotion, there's a lot of different lotions Young Living has that all have the therapeutic quality essential oils in them, or you can make your own body rub with an essential oil of your choice. Geranium and chamomile, lavender, even frankincense and sandalwood are all fabulous oils for the skin, long recognized in herbal literature for helping the skin maintain a good healthy look. So this is the reason, and if you look at those, all those are potent antioxidants, and they have fabulous properties associated with the mopping up these free radicals. And so there's your protection from this, and from this damage. And in this modern world, we have an onslaught of all this. So this is every day. Let me put it this way: every day that you don't take your antioxidants and use your essential oils topically on the skin, like I said, in some kind of product, every day that you don't do that is a day that you're accumulating more chemical damage. It's that bad right now. I don't know how we're going to fix it, but anyway, that's the situation we're in. I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm trying to be encouraging that you can, and you probably do already use personal care products on an everyday basis. So switch them over and make sure you've got your essential oils. You could say, well, I've already got my lotion. I buy this really cheap, by the gallon. I buy this lotion from, some discount store. And why can't I just take my lavender oil and add it to that? The problem is your lotion contains parabens and DEA and all kinds of other toxins. So then we add the essential oils into this, and the essential oil helps to promote the penetration of material through the fat tissue because they're fat soluble. So now we take a fat solubilizer like essential oil, and we mix it in with these toxins, and we essentially allow those toxins to move into the body, into the lymph system, when otherwise it wouldn't have. And so I've actually had people use good quality essential oils, Young Living essential oils, mixed with a bad quality lotion, and end up having a really bad reaction on the skin. And that's why the body is rejecting these chemicals. If you didn't have the essential oil in there, it wouldn't penetrate. But now that you've added the essential oil in there, this stuff gets in there and reacts. Okay, so here's the basic message. We need our daily antioxidants inside and out for the skin, and that's one way to protect the skin from this chemical damage that we're experiencing on a daily basis. Okay, so there's our lesson for today. Happy wellness, one day at a time. It's so nice to have healthy, well skin. I'm not saying I'm perfect in this area, but I continue working on this. And hopefully, we're not going to beat the aging process, but hopefully we can start taking some steps to, get the skin back to a healthy place, even if those years are clicking off, okay? As my daughter so frequently is there to observe, Daddy, your hair is gray. I'm like, yeah, that happens. So I got to figure a way to reverse that too. Anyway, okay, happy wellness, one day at a time, working on the skin this month. And we're working to look good and feel good too. So tomorrow I don't know, I have to look at the list. Catch me tomorrow, we'll have another video.